What's going on, everyone? So today we're gonna take a look at LKCO stock, otherwise known as Lukang Technologies, and it's been a minute since I made a video on LKCO, but they have been going crazy the last few days. And just some background, in case you're probably wondering why I'm talking about LKCO. Well, I've been talking about this for months, and you can see on my channel the video I posted this in March 11th, and I have a bunch of other ones similar to pretty much LKCO. And you see the price; it's at $1, and I've been talking about it basically during this dip. Now, just some fun facts, some history in case nobody knows LKCO for the first time. I'll give you a quick summary, and then everything after will be just new updates in case you've been following it for the last few months. So, in short, it was a Chinese company supposedly going to get delisted. So, during this time frame, you can see the massive sell off. You can see the March, when I made the video, like March 11th, during this dip, literally the lowest of the lowest point, I was creating content on this. And next thing you know, we had the initial dates that were supposed to get confirmation closer towards in this area, and then it got extended until like the closer towards pretty much these months, and then next you know there's a confirmation, and now it's going crazy. In addition, there's some new updates regarding the news that has made LKCO much more bullish in people's terms. But just remember, before I continue, guys, this video is my own opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. Be sure to do your research before making any investments. Now, let's go ahead and basically let's go and see what's the news today, right? Because since then, I mean, even short term, if you've only been following LKCO for a couple days, I mean, it's jumped up significantly, right? Coming back here at the $1 price, that's the almost 3x. And even if you would have got the lowest low, which I saw it at like 69 drop below, I wasn't able to get in at that price point, but I've been following it pretty much since. And you can see that's almost 3x, if not basically 3x at this high right here. And there's still a lot of potential in I'd say this is more of a long-term play. This isn't something I think short, because even back then, it took literally, 3 months to get to the point it's at right now. Back when I was creating content on it, and just now it's starting to develop more contracts, more major news. So let's hop into and look at the most recent article, and this was back on June 18th. And pretty much, at least the one I could find, they have a highway contract that they apparently have gotten in China, right? So if you guys don't know what LKCO is, stay tuned till the end. I'm gonna go through a quick summary on what they do, just give you a better idea. But for the new RC, for the people who've been in here for a while, let's just take a look at this update, right? So it's funny, it says up 11%, even though technically, if you've been following it for months, it's been up ridiculously higher than that. But here, pretty much, we got EMAP Go, which I'll talk about that more in a second, because I've seen that before already. And basically, they entered into a contract to deliver a new generation traffic control network and smart highway demonstration project for the Chengdu Expressway in the Jiangxi province of China. Not sure to pronounce these exactly, but essentially they have massive contract right here. Big deal. And in general, the company, what they're working on, there's a lot of different things they're doing, right? At first when I was reading it, it's kind of complicated to explain in a super simple one sentence answer. But if you go check out their websites, you can see they do a lot of stuff with big data, and then there's additional things which I'll talk about in a second. But here, this contract states that EMAP will be responsible for the development and implementation of a three-dimensional real-life highway digital management system for the new generation smart contract or smart highway demonstration project for the Chengdu Expressway. And essentially, this digital management system will provide real-time road information and intelligent operation management to support the latest smart transportation, such as lane navigation, autonomous driving, big deal right here, road coordination, and vehicle road collaboration, while increasing safety and decreasing congestion for improved road maintenance and management. So that, just right there, you don't even have to know what LKCO does, but just seeing what their company in general is trying to accomplish with this new deal, that's just mind-boggling compared to the other companies I'm sure you've heard of. They have just basic business, basic problems they're doing. Typical, maybe some are e-commerce, some are just regular service companies. But here, this company is doing some big things that it's unique to its own industry, plus in general, the barrier to entry to replicate something of this magnitude, it's not something like a random person today could just like say, hey, I want to start this new tech company where we basically create all this massive upgrades to just way of life, literally like roads and things of that nature. So in general, this definitely is something you want to look into, deep dive into LKCO in case you're not aware of what they're doing. But just based off this summary of this article, I think that's quite impressive, just alone what they're trying to work on. And I mean, you can see the stock price seems to favor how they're currently moving, right? And looking at right now, at least the recent high we can see here was at like 384, back when it was just chilling at a couple pennies, pretty much 50 cents plus. And after now, at least now, all the fun, all the doubts are pretty much gone. At this point, it's basically a waiting game and just seeing what LKCO can do. Now, here just give you guys some background too, because this was on May 6th, the NASDAQ. This is the official article in case you guys are new to this. They withdraw the listing ban on Lukang after U.S. judges' decisions. So this is the confirmation. This is what I've been following it for months back on these videos I was making up upon the actual delisting. And we didn't really get a confirmation. And then obviously now we have it a couple months later. So that is one, the big catalyst that makes LKCO, I'd say, very interesting to take your eye at and look into and research yourself. Now, again, with any company, obviously, if you are at least from the States, for instance, and let me just refresh really quick. Now, like I was saying, anything that has to do with China versus US, there's always that thin line of risk that you have to consider. Yes, they were saved from getting delisted, but again, in the next few months, next few years, maybe something else could come up, and that could significantly affect how the price is, and then two, the future of their company. So again, that's something to keep in mind. Don't just look at this like, oh, big data, big tech company, massive projects. Again, this is Chinese company from my understanding, and there's still big risk for that. Now, again, if I told you guys I'm going to give you a quick summary on LKCO in case you guys aren't aware, and this is back in February, so this is just before all the madness and all this crazy hype has gone up. And basically, Investor Place, they give like super simple bullet points, right? So first of all, it is a company dedicated to spatial temporal data services. Operates in China under its two brands. They have Lukang, and then I don't know if they mistyped, but Super Engine. And this information can be updated. I'm not sure if it's accurate today, but back when this was created, this is what they have. It has offering interactive location-based services in the country. They do things with satellites, UAV, remote sensing, image data, HD maps, 2D, 3D internet maps. So it's the stuff like EMAP Go, which you guys saw in the previous article. Real-time trajectory, IoT, and basically you can see some of their acquisitions include Super Engine, etc. Right? So that's like a super brief summary. It's hard to explain it all in one sentence, but feel free to look into it, deep dive into it in case you have some doubts or you're just like confused on what they actually are working on. But either way, it's so crazy to see it finally take off. And in terms of price predictions, what do I think? Well, again, it's a long-term play. It's hard to predict, but I know a lot of people were saying back during these times that once they confirm the delisting and it's basically good to go, it's safe, that it could 2 plus X. I've seen some say that it could 5X at the price points at the sub 2. So if you were to put that number, that's basically $10 at that point. Now, the 10 that's from here, that's a little under, almost basically like a 3 plus 4X, or a little under 4, like 3 something X. So again, it's a waiting game. We don't know exactly when, if that were the case, but if you were to just take a look at some numbers really quick, we can. So if we were to look at some numbers, we can see the market cap's at 864 million, right? So it's not even a bill yet. So let's just round this up to 1 bill, and let's say that's $3. Putting this at a 3 plus X, like $9 plus, you're already at technically a 3 bill. So at 10 bill market cap, then you do the numbers there. So potentially, if LKCO can perform, do its thing, get some big deals, then yes, this could easily be in the multi-billion market cap. Will it be super quickly? That's one thing I think you have to. I think this is more like a long-term game. So again, it's just a waiting game to see what happens. But so far, it has been doing numbers. I think, depending on what time frame you are looking at, it could be considered overbought or over. At that point, I'd say. But until then, definitely I'll make some more updates in the next few months, see how it's doing. And aside from that, let me know any updates, secret projects, or anything you guys are following. Subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next one.